My name is Jay Young. I'm one of the co-owners of Real Property Associates. In 2014, the City of Seattle enacted the Rental Registration and Inspection Ordinance, known industry-wide as RRIO. The purpose of the ordinance was to help ensure that all rental housing in Seattle is safe and meets basic housing maintenance requirements. Proponents of this ordinance say it is good for tenants and will discourage slumlords. Those against the measure say it's an unnecessary piece of legislation, adds costs to housing, and is cleverly disguised as a money grab for the city. Whatever your position is, we're stuck with it. So if you're a landlord, you need to know what you're up against so that you can navigate this ordinance. In an effort to help you do this, I would like to touch on a few of the important guidelines. To start with, the ordinance just applies to the City of Seattle. If your property is located outside of city limits, it does not affect you. Secondly, it includes all rental properties. This not only includes the obvious multifamily properties, but includes condominiums and single families which are rented as well. It is up to the individual landlords to register their properties. As a property manager, we can do this on your behalf, but the responsibility ultimately falls on the property owner. There are deadlines as to when you need to have your property registered. As of now, all properties should be registered except for a select few single-family homes in certain zip codes. By the end of 2016, all properties must be registered. If you do not register or are late, you will be subject to late fee and subject to penalties and fees. Also, if you're trying to evict a tenant and have not registered your property, the city will freeze your eviction until you provide proof that your property is registered. The fees for registration are $175 for a single unit, in addition to $2 for each additional unit. For example, a fourplex would cost $175 plus $6 to register. The registration is good for 5 years. Once you register, you sit back and wait for notification from the city that your property is up for inspection. During the first 5-year period, there's a 50% chance that your property will be selected for inspection. The stated goal is that in the first 10 years, all registered properties will be inspected at least once. After your property has been selected for inspection, it is up to the landlord to hire a city-certified inspector and have them inspect your property. The city approves and maintains a list of qualified rental housing inspectors. In actuality, the bar is not really that high to become a qualified inspector. And because of this, based on our experience, there is a varying degree of proficiency amongst inspectors. Inspectors typically charge $100 to $150 for the inspection and $75 for re-inspections. They are looking for health and safety issues, including fire safety. They can cite a property for large items like failing paint or roofs, and little items such as railing width and tripping hazards. What you're looking for is an inspector who will not be driven by the re-inspection fees, but be proficient. If your property does not pass, you typically have 30 days to have the violations corrected and have the property re-inspected. For large items or those that require more time, you can ask for an extension. This is the RRIO ordinance in a nutshell. If you have any questions or would like assistance in navigating the ordinance, feel free to reach out to myself or any of our property managers at Real Property Associates.